Quai d'Orfevre won its director, Henri-Georges Clouzot, the Best Director Award at the 1947 Venice Film Festival, and it went on to be one of the most popular French films of that year, with more than 5.5 million cinema admissions. That's how they've always determined a film's popularity in France, by the number of tickets sold, not the dollar value of the tickets. By any accounting, the film was a spectacular popular and critical success, not just in France, but worldwide. And it has weathered the test of time. In 1986, a review in Le Matin de Paris called the film nothing less than the most powerful, best constructed, best written, best directed, and most telling film about the society of its day. Clouzot went on to enjoy great success in the 50s, creating two of the most popular and acclaimed films of the decade, 1953's The Wages of Fear and 1955's Les Diaboliques. But by the end of the 50s, the rise of French New Wave filmmakers and Clouzot's own deteriorating health curtailed his creative output. Colleagues may have complained that Clouzot had a contemptuous and aggressive attitude on the set, but few complained about the results, which included some of the finest French films ever made. Suzy Delaire, who played Jenny, certainly knew Clouzot intimately. They had a decade-long romance during the 40s that began when he introduced himself to her in the late 30s outside the stage door of a theater where she was performing, a moment right out of today's film. Delaire was a popular star of vaudeville and light opera, and she easily made the transition to film. In 1948, she popularized the song C'est si bon, which later became a huge hit for Louis Armstrong, who recorded an English-language version after hearing Delaire sing it at the Nice Jazz Festival. It might be the most recorded French pop song of all time. An interesting footnote to Delaire's career is that she co-starred in the last film ever made by Laurel and Hardy, a star-crossed 1950 French-Italian co-production called Atoll Quai, released in this country as Utopia. She played a nightclub singer, of course, with the name Cherie Lamour. Delaire never married, which may be one of the reasons she lived an amazingly long life, finally passing away in 2020 at the age of 102. The character of Maurice Martineau was played by Bernard Blier, one of the most recognizable actors in French cinema. Since the mid-30s, Blier's hangdog face made him a specialist in abashed cuckolds and crestfallen dreamers. It assured him steady work into the late 1980s for many great directors, including Marcel Carné, Julien Duvivier, Yves Allégret, Luchino Visconti, and Bertrand Blier, his son, who directed his father in 3 films. Only weeks before his death in 1989, Blier was awarded an honorary César, France's equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Oscar, in recognition of his incredible body of work, which included 185 credits between film and television. Now, although he had nowhere near that impressive a filmography, Louis Jouvet is equally revered in France. He made slightly more than 30 films before his death in 1951, but Jouvet left an indelible mark on French theater, not just as an actor, but as a producer and director. As a young man just learning stagecraft, he created a portable accent light that would forever be known as a Jouvet. During the 1920s, he was director of the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées, and from 1934 to 1951, he was in charge of the renowned Théâtre de l'Athénée. In fact, he only agreed to play Inspector Antoine if Clouzot worked around his stage schedule and cast members of Jouvet's theatrical troupe in supporting roles. In 1951, Jouvet went out like a real trooper, dying of a heart attack in the dressing room of the theater that now bears his name. Let us know what you thought of today's film on the Noir Alley Facebook page and Twitter feed, but don't spend too much time complaining about having to read subtitles. I plan on showing more foreign films, but not that many, so it's nothing to get up in arms about. Next week, we'll be back on American soil for a film featuring several very recognizable Hollywood stars. William Holden, Alexis Smith, and Edmund O'Brien star in the 1952 crime drama The Turning Point. something of a rarity, so you don't want to miss it. Until then, rendezvous dans l'ombre.